All right. It looks like we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting for a second time in one day, which is a new experience for me. Tonight is my regularly scheduled Monday show, which is Collecting Smart. And my guest again this Monday is the boy who had seven, Matt. Say hello.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Dude, thank you so much for having me again. You've had me twice now, and I'm excited to do this with you. So, and I'm excited about today's topic. It's going to be really cool. So thank you again, man.
Yeah, I think this is going to be really good. Hopefully people get something out of this. Today we are going to be we're going to be doing a little spec reality check.
Okay.
I want to talk a little bit about just the speculation market in general, which I do a lot of in my look back videos, but also specifically I want to talk about what's going on with Naomi and Immortal Hulk right now, and just bring a little reality into what are we doing and why are we doing it. So,
yeah, man.
Hey, Tacoma. Looks like Tacoma is in the chat. So we'll give everybody just kind of a minute to join in before we get too deep. But I'll just ask you to start with, Matt. What's your, I don't know that we really talked beforehand. What is your philosophy on spec as a whole?
So I got carried away with it for a while. And after, getting some books that were supposed to be hot or were hot and getting them at the wrong time, it kind of soured my taste for that, because like I remember, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on. Let me see it. You just cut out for just a second there. Let me close. Make sure that's not on my end. Make sure I got everything closed that I don't need to have opened. But yeah, talk some more. Let's see if you're still doing a little better here.
So anyway, I went to pick up the first appearance of Normie because of the Spider-Man book. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Well, luckily I got it for $4. It got super hot. I was gonna flip it for like $50 or $60, and then all the hype died down, and then it dropped down to about worth $4 again.
Right.
And I did that with a couple other books, but instead of paying the $4 on those, I paid $20, $30, $40, $50, and then it dropped back down to $4, $5, $50.
Yeah.
And so after having that happen to me, it just kind of frustrated me. And I'm like, why am I doing this? Why am I buying these books when they're already hot? I should have had these books way before.
Right.
And so, my philosophy is if I'm going to buy a spec book, it's because I'll be happy being stuck with it if it doesn't go up or it doesn't become worth a lot of money that I can flip it for, And so there's been a couple of variants that I've jumped on thinking they're going to be hot. And I'm like, you know what? Even if it isn't, I'm going to love this book because the cover's gorgeous. And so, and some of them have worked out for me where I've been able to flip for $100, $200, and some of them I've lost money on, but I'm happy having it,
Right.
So I just got to be smart.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of a little bit very similar to my story in terms of spec stuff. When I got started collecting in last year for this week, and I was buying new books and like speculating on stuff and buying extra covers and of things. And the reality is maybe a book a month, more likely a book every 2 months that comes out new actually has sustainable value. I was also trying to jump on like the Hot 10 list books, and which I quickly realized was the wrong time.
Right.
That's where my whole look back came from, just trying to like educate myself on, well, what should I actually be buying these? What should I be buying them for? And, I kind of came to a place where for the most part, I don't buy a book unless for spec reasons when it's new, unless it is something I want anyway. Like unless I want it for my collection, I'm not specking on it.
Yeah.
If I'm not going to read it, I'm not going to buy it. It's my general philosophy on new books, on brand new stuff. On like older stuff, looking back, like I will spec a little bit if I see something I think is undervalued, but I'm looking for characters that have had some sustainability, that have been around for a while, that have been in multiple stories. like I bought a couple of like Spider-Woman #1s, like Jessica Drew Spec, because they're like $20.
Yeah.
And so to me, that's the kind of spec that kind of makes sense to me, as opposed to going out and buying a whole bunch of random book X that everybody Major X, because Rob Liefeld's claiming, hey, it's the fastest selling thing ever, when oh no, it just went to a second print, which lots of books do. And and things like that. So I've just tried to be, I'm not big into like buying and flipping. Not that I won't do it, but that it's not something I want to like pursue consistently. And so I've just kind of backed off spec. I don't necessarily I think it's fine that people do it. I think you just need to be understanding of what it is you're doing and what the odds are that you're really like going to hit something.
Yeah.
And for the most part, they're not very good. Let's see. Comic Lover Omega has joined us. Thanks, Comic Lover. So that's just kind of my philosophy on the spec into things. Obviously, if you guys have watched my top 10 list, look back, for the most part, there's a lot of books that, like, whether it be option news or just the hot cover of the week or whatever, that like they'll have a little peak and they'll drop back down to like $5-10 books. It just doesn't. There's not a lot of sustainability in spec.
Yeah.
If you go overboard, you have a chance to really like lose a lot of money if you're not smart about it.
Yeah. You know what, man? One of my favorite things to do is to, after the books are already hot, go out there and find them for cover price.
Right.
It's such a fun adventure and feeling. But I've made a rule that if, with one of the books we're going to talk about tonight, Naomi, I've seen it around town, $80, $100, $75, $50, just depending on what shop, I have 7 shops here. And so, but I went out of town to Albuquerque, New Mexico. I stopped by like 5 different comic shops there. And I found, I can't remember, 4 or 5 copies at cover price.
Right.
It was like I hit the jackpot, man. I was like, yeah, baby. Went in there, picked those up. That's a good investment.
Right. That is a good investment. That's being smart about it, because you didn't overextend to get those. You got them at cover. You already know there's value there. I did the same thing with those Immortal Hulk books that I'm giving away in my contest, and then I actually had sold some as well. I went into my comic shop, and for the most part, my comic shop really doesn't like mark stuff up unless it's older. I mean, like eventually they will, but like for the first couple of months, they generally don't mark stuff up unless it just goes absolutely crazy. But they try to keep stuff at cover for as long as they can, because that's what they pay for. That's their philosophy. And I bought those Immortal Hulk books, that the couple copies I sold and then the copies I'm giving away, all at cover. And that was something, and that was significantly after, that was when Immortal Hulk was really exploding, like in January, early February, not like when Immortal Hulk #1 came out.
Yeah, man, that's just the best feeling, and that's one of my favorite things to do, is to find the books at cover or even less, like at garage sales or on Facebook or Craigslist, and then what I've been getting into is CGCing some stuff.
Yeah.
And I just got my first CGC, like huge 17 books back, and I did an unboxing, and I didn't do it live because
I haven't seen that. I didn't feel like.
Yeah, I couldn't handle it, man. I was gonna throw up. Like, I was so excited and so nervous at the same time that I couldn't handle it live, dude. I was shaking just sitting here, like opening it. But man, it was so fun to see some of those grades where I got the books for cover price.
Right.
Came out 9/8, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a $300-400 book, and I paid $3 plus maybe, I think I came up with $30 per book to CGC it with shipping, pressing, and everything.
The whole thing. Yeah.
I'm just like $33 to $350. It's such a good feeling, man.
Let's see. Hey, Crimson Ghost, thanks for joining us. So to me, that is smart spec. Like, that is the way a book has value. You went on the hunt. You put out the effort to find it for cover, and then you're turning it into something that you can use to build your collection, to get value for. That is smart spec. I think a lot of the stuff of the people that are jumping on books, though, that are on the hot top 10 list and buying them off eBay,
Yeah.
or that are jumping on books that people are like, hey, this is going to be the hot book. Let's buy 10, get as many as you can, kind of thing. That's not, that's not doing smart spec. Those are the people that are getting taken advantage of.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you're at that point, you're on that fear of missing out, which you and I have both talked about in multiple other videos. You're on the, you're chasing the trend instead of being ahead of the game. And that is not the way you want to speculate. And for the most part, most books that, get a little bit of heat don't usually amount to much. I'm going to transition just for a minute. We'll start talking and then we'll come back to spec as in general. But every so often there are books that explode. That the spec market just, everybody gets behind a book. The two books I want to talk about tonight are Naomi and Immortal Hulk. And both of these were kind of slow builds a little bit. Like when they first came out, I don't remember there being that much initial heat.
Mm-mm.
The heat came because the stories were really good. And people started jumping on it. They were relatively low print runs, and they have just exploded.
Yeah.
And I wanted to bring a little perspective to that explosion and whether or not, and what people are paying right now for these books.
Yeah.
The first one I was going to talk about was Naomi.
Okay.
And you were saying a while ago that you didn't want to chase a book like for $70, $80, already marked up, or 4 issues into Naomi, which I don't care how good the story is, that's not staying power. The character's been around for 4 issues.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that she won't have long-term staying power, but that's not a lot of history to go off of in order to think you're going to have sustained long-term value. Yeah. So I went through, you guys know me, I like to do my research.
Numbers guy.
Oh yeah. But this was very simple. I went through and I picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 other characters that I consider kind of similar to Naomi.
Okay.
In the fact that, they most of all but one of them are female characters. Most of them are minority characters. Most of them are fairly recent into comics.
Okay.
That have value, that have been around, that have been used for bigger things, have carried on a little bit, so they all have better histories than she does.
Okay.
And I just wanted I compared what Raws were selling for and what 9.8s were selling for of their first appearances, or the hottest book. There's a couple of them. Here's a caveat, like the hottest book, because it's like a 1 in 25 or a rare second print, like is off the charts. But like so I went with the next most common first appearance, like the regular cover.
Okay.
They're consistently on eBay.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's the main cover. That's not the variant. The variant actually goes for a little bit less.
Which is crazy.
Which is weird, but because you would think there'd be fewer of those, but main cover is going for $70 to $100. 9.8, the Go Collect fair market value right now is considered $450, and it's been anywhere from $350 to $590 over the last month or so. Is what 9.8s have gone for, and which is high.
Yeah.
So here are some of the characters I compared her to. Jessica Cruz, which is the female Green Lantern, who's been around. They've used her in like the Superhero Girls cartoon. She had her own book with Simon Baz for a long time.
Yeah.
So she's been around for a few years. Sydney Moon, Silk.
Okay.
Spider-Gwen.
Awesome.
Who's been in a movie and already was like a hot character. A great movie. She's been a fantastic movie. They're giving her another one. They're giving her a spinoff. They've already said.
Yep.
Miles Morales, also his own movie. Yep. Cassandra Cain, who is the Batgirl from the 90s that like is going to be in the Birds of Prey movie coming up.
Yep.
Shuri, who we all know from Black Panther and Infinity War. Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, and Bumblebee.
Yep.
So give you an idea. So 70 to 100, 450 for Naomi. Jessica Cruz, her first appearance, her first cameo is the most valuable of the books. There's like 3. Her first appearance is spread out a little bit, but it's the most valuable. 15 to 20 to 25 for a raw copy. 110 for 9.8. Cindy Moon, Silk.
Easy, man.
First appearance, raw, $30 to $40. 110 for a 9.8. Spider-Gwen.
Okay.
Big character.
Huge.
Super popular.
Yep.
150 for a raw. So significantly more for like a high-end raw copy, $150.
Double the price.
Yeah. 9.8, 475.
$25 more.
$25 more.
That's
than Naomi. Miles Morales.
Okay.
The same $70 to $100 for a raw copy. Now, there's a lot more of Ultimate Fallout #4 out there than there is Naomi.
Okay.
But this is a character that's already had a movie, like that's his movie. It's not just he's in it; it's his movie.
A great movie.
A great movie.
Yeah.
$70 to $100, $325 for a 9.8.
What? How is Naomi worth more money than Miles Morales, man?
I don't know.
It's crazy.
What I'm talking about, man.
Oh my goodness.
And so Cassandra Cain, the book you have next to you, gonna be in the Birds of Prey movie. $30 to $40 for a raw, $325 for a 9.8.
Gosh, man. So this is the copy that I found for cover price. Cover price, man.
Nice.
Sent it
That's
out.
awesome.
Comes back a 9.8, and I was just like it was so good, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So, three more characters to go. Okay. Shuri. Everybody loves Shuri and Black Panther.
She's awesome.
She stole that movie, in my opinion. $25 to $35 raw for her first appearance.
That's low.
$250 for a 9.8. Almost half the price of Naomi for Shuri.
Wow. Wow.
Wow. Kamala Khan. So we all know that the second print of Cat Marvel 17, her second cameo, where she's on the cover, is a crazy book.
Yeah.
Thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
But her first cameo, the next most valuable book with her is her first cameo, which is Cat Marvel 14.
Okay.
That is a $90 to $125 book raw.
Okay.
$375.
Wow. So the raw book's a little bit more, but the 9.8 is less.
9.8 is less.
Wow.
And then finally, the last character I threw in, and I just threw her in because I know she's a super undervalued character, and it's just kind of fun, which is Bumblebee from DC Comics. Like, she's been in a couple of the cartoons. She's in like thing, and her first appearance is old. It's Teen Titans 45, like from the original Teen Titans run.
Okay.
From the Bronze Age book. $5 to $10 raw. $280 for a 9.8 though, because it's hard to get a 9.8. But that's a character that they've used in the Superhero Girls cartoons. She was in Young Justice cartoons. African American female, one of their first African American female teenage characters in DC Comics.
Jeez, man.
$280. I realize she hasn't been used a ton, but it's just like, so I just like, in looking at that, and this is why I want to talk about Naomi, is I get that it's a really good story. I get that, although I haven't read it, I get that people are really loving the story. The character's got a lot of heat. They think there's a lot of potential there. But when you see what's going on with her prices with these other characters that have history, that have like, some of which have been around for a while, some of which haven't, but these are
movies and spin-offs.
Movies. Yeah, I mean, these are characters that aren't going anywhere. I don't know where Naomi's going. Maybe Naomi is the next, but best case scenario, Naomi is the next Spider-Gwen. And you're already paying more.
Yeah.
it's just it doesn't. Well, I guess not more, but you're already paying as much.
Yeah,
as what you're paying for Spider-Gwen, and it's just like
it's crazy.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, J Hood's talking about the fever. The fever got to me. I've never done that before. What's he? I bought a Ultimate Fallout 4 last week after they mentioned the multiverse and felt like I overpaid $100 raw, but it's long-term hold. I don't really know. I don't know that the problem with Ultimate Fallout 4, and part of the reason it is less than Naomi is because there is a ton of them. But it's still miles. I don't think that book is like gonna ever be cheap. I mean, you think about how many Spider-Man 300s there are out there.
Yeah.
And how much that book goes for.
Yep.
I mean, not maybe Miles is never Venom, but I think that's a book that as a long-term hold, I think you're okay, J Hood.
And even seeing it, you know?
Yeah. So
I had two thoughts that came to me, man. I'll get to them after you go through the chat.
Okay, looks like Perry came in. He's like 60-40 on Naomi just because they're going to put her in multiple big title books. So they are pushing her hard. But and maybe they're going to push her hard. And maybe Naomi is ultimately worth it. But again, ultimately, I think you're looking at a character that's like, maybe she's Kamala Khan. Maybe she's Spider-Gwen. But you're already paying that price or more.
Yeah.
4 issues in. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't, but it just, to me, doesn't make a lot of sense. Hey, Hialeah. Let's see. J Hood, Hialeah, Crimson Ghost, Perry. I think that's everybody. Thanks, guys, for joining me. And the boy who had 7. So we're just talking a little bit about Spec, and I just wanted to put a little perspective on what's happening with Naomi.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that people are wrong for chasing it, but boy, I feel like people are overspending a little bit.
Yeah. Here's my 2 things that I was thinking of earlier. Number 1 is it's completely pure Spec because the book didn't heat up until Bendis came out and said, this character is going to be just as revolutionary as Miles Morales. And she is going to change the DC universe. That's what he said. So people are hitting it hard by speculating that eventually it's going to be this amazing book. But here's the problem. My second thought is a month ago, I saw a 9.8 sell for $950 on eBay. You just showed me some numbers and I had my phone out and I threw it on eBay and I was looking as you're talking. Yeah. They're selling at $450 now.
Right.
So whoever bought that book a month ago at $950 has already lost $500.
Yes.
You know, and here's the thing. Okay, say the book she does change the universe and it does heat up. Is it going to get back up to $950? That's a huge risk that you're taking, you know?
Yeah, and that's my thing is we're talking about a modern book.
Yep.
Think about, okay, let's say she is absolutely huge.
Yeah.
As a character. You're talking like maybe X23 level. NYX number 3.
Yeah.
That's not that $900 that gets you that book.
Yep, it does.
So you're talking about like she's close to like probably maybe not like ultimate peak, but a pretty long term. I just can't see it having any more the up. I think you're already like at the plateau. Maybe it's a $400 or $500 book forever.
Yeah.
But I don't know that it's a $2,000 book.
Yeah.
I don't.
Hialeah Comics saying it's been out 4 months and we've already seen it go up and down and people are specking hard on it. And I think they've pushed it to a point where you're probably right. It's not going to go past that. It's not going to burst that ceiling. And if it does, okay, bravo to those of you that got it for cover price. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you seen it, then you got some money.
Yeah. So, and that's the whole thing, Hialeah. Like, you came in a little bit late. I went through a bunch of characters who she's already like female characters that she's already like more expensive than their first appearance.
Yeah.
And we're talking, you know, Shuri. Well, she's not more expensive than Spider-Gwen, but they're neck and neck. More expensive than Miles Morales. More expensive than Silk. You know, more expensive than all like Camilla Khan's actual first cameo book, not more expensive than that rare second print.
Yeah.
But, you know, more expensive than Cassandra Cain, the book he has next to him, who's going to be in the next Birds of Prey movie. I mean, these are characters that have been around for a while, and she's smoking all of them on cost right now.
Perry says, I'm calling it, Lobo. I'm going all in on him long term.
she's probably more expensive than getting the first appearance of Lobo.
She is.
I don't know. I haven't looked at it, but I think that's not a super expensive book. So Hialeah talks about the Batman Who Laughs. So I'm going to go into the other book that I wanted to talk about now, because that's a good transition.
Do it.
Is Immortal Hulk. Specifically, Immortal Hulk #2, which is the first appearance of Dr. Fry.
Yeah.
And if you don't know who Dr. Fry is, other than that book's super expensive, Dr. Fry was a character that was on the original Hulk TV show, but had never been in the comics. And so the first appearance was during Immortal Hulk. He was in #2. I think he was in one other issue, but they haven't done anything else with him. Nothing. There's no hints that he's a big player. Nothing. Immortal Hulk #2. Right now, raw copies are going for $50 to $80. And the Go Collect fair market value for a 9.8 is $325 for Dr. Fry.
Wow.
Maybe 2 total appearances. So what about first appearance of No One Special? That's what Banks said. So let's compare him. No One Special. Let's compare him to some other villains. Let's say he becomes a great villain. You know, one of the more recent great villains, the Batman Who Laughs, a villain everybody's specking on. Everybody loves that. DC is pushing hard. They are pushing the Batman Who Laughs hard.
Yeah.
Batman Who Laughs. Immortal Hulk Raw was 50 to 80. Batman Who Laughs, 70 to 90 for a raw copy of that Teen Titans 12. 9.8, 325 for Dr. Fry, 425 for the Batman Who Laughs.
Dang, man.
So let's think about longer-term villain, somebody who's had some staying power.
That's crazy.
Gonna be in a movie. Gonna be in the next Venom movie, Carnage.
Oh, I love that guy.
ASM 361, a classic cover. Classic Bagley Spider-Man cover, 361. Again, $70 to $100 raw for Carnage. Carnage, 9.8. 375. Dr. Fry, 9.8. 325.
Dang, man. What the heck? Like, if you put the two guys together, Batman Who Laughs is like this amazingly modern, like Shakespearean bad guy. Like, he's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And you have Dr. Fry, who's like, okay, yeah, we saw him once. What the heck? How are they up here together, man?
So, last one. I only did 3 villains to compare Dr. Fry to. Last one. Bane. Vengeance of Bane, #1. The Vengeance of Bane. Batman Vengeance of Bane. His first appearance.
I love that dude.
$30 to $50 raw. Now, this is a book from, 89, I think?
Yeah.
89 or 90? $30 to $50 raw. $250 for a 9.8 of the first appearance of Bane.
Gosh, man. And he's my
Think of great stories with Bane.
He's my favorite villain, man.
And people are paying more for Dr. Fry on Immortal Hulk.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. I just, I was thinking about that. I've been looking at the prices on these things because we were going to talk about Spec. And the reason I ended up going down the road with these 2 books is like, people have lost their damn mind.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And I get you. You like what you like. You want stuff. But I feel like, at least with Naomi, maybe there's at least something there. They've given you some justification. Bendis has been pushing it a little bit. But again, like, her peak is probably around what these characters are going to be that I compared her to, and she's already there.
Yeah.
There's no spec left in Naomi unless you find it, like you said, for cover price with somebody who doesn't know what they have.
Yep.
I just don't think there's any spec. I don't think there's any upside to her right now.
Yeah.
And with Dr. Fry, Marvel has given us nothing. Al Ewing has said nothing about using that character. There's been no hints. The best I can tell from everything I've seen and read is that realistically they threw him in because, hey, here we'll do a cool throwback to the TV show that nobody's ever done.
Yeah.
And that was it. It was a one-off. Like, at least in their plans. Now maybe they use him, but in their plans it was a one-off. And people are paying more than they're paying for Bane.
That's nuts, man. And here's the thing, like, I think that this Immortal Hulk book, it got hot because it was such a good read and people were loving it, you know? If you have all the books and you're in love with it, and the only one you don't have is the Dr. Fry one, I can see you spending $60 to get it to complete the set. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you're like, oh man, I'm watching the top 10 show and Dr. Fry's hot, let me go grab it. That book is gonna just, I think, man, it doesn't have sustaining power. There's nothing to it.
I mean, you think about how like villain books, just in general, even the villains that are in the movies, like Ultron, like that book like took off when the movie was out, but it's back down where it was. It's not a super expensive book. I should look up some more. I didn't look up some more villains, but like Ultron's probably not much more than what Dr. Fry is right now.
Yeah.
And it's just like Apocalypse, probably not much more the first appearance of Apocalypse. You know, these are some villains in movies that I'm just thinking of. And I didn't have time to like look up a bunch, but I mean, I get when Immortal Hulk was #2 was going for $20, $30, maybe even $40, and people were like chasing it, and because it was a fairly low print on that book. It's a story that people are just absolutely loving, and hey, I want to get the whole set. I can understand that a little bit, but there comes a point, it's like, what are you doing with your money?
Yep.
And
how much was Dr. Fry going for in a 9.8 again?
$325.
Okay, so I just got this back from CGC. I got it for $1 from a guy on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, there is that.
Came back a 9.8, right?
Yeah.
But I looked it up, and the last sales are $225 for Apocalypse. Okay, so this is the first appearance of the Beast, Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Who already had a movie, who has plenty of other opportunities in the MCU to blow up. And Dr. Fry is more expensive than him?
And it had some fantastic stories in the comics. There's a true history to that character. Yeah. And they've told great stories with him. He has history. He has staying power. And $100 more.
It kills me, dude. It kills me, man.
So I want to look in the chat here a little bit. It looks like we have been joined by Biggie Shack. Hey, Biggie Shack, what's going on? Epicurean Eye Relief.
Yo.
Perry, I think I mentioned Perry earlier. Crimson Ghost is still hanging out. Hialeah, Bake the Snake. Hey, Bake. Looks like almost every comics for Thomas. Comic Noob. I think that's everybody. So I think Apocalypse is just as big as Galactus. I mean, Apocalypse is a big villain.
Yeah.
And
two of my dollar finds on Facebook.
There you go.
Came back 9.8 this week.
So are those going to be in your unboxing video? I think.
Yeah, I'm showing you a bunch of stuff because it's right behind me.
You're getting a preview, is what you're saying.
That's right. You're getting a preview. Man.
Awesome. So Tacoma makes an interesting point in here that I want to bring up. He says, at the heart of it, comic collecting is irrational. Buying any individual issue over digital or waiting for trades makes no financial sense. And to agree, he's right. He's absolutely correct. It's like we buy these things, we spend enormous amounts of money on these because we love them, we want them. But ultimately, it comes back to story and art and characters. Like when I buy a first appearance of a character, it's because I've enjoyed like the stories that have been told about them, and the characters develop meaning for me. At least for me, like I don't necessarily go buy a first appearance just because it's a first appearance. I want to have something to the character that I want to change. If I'm spending $400 on a book, we're talking like first appearance of Batgirl, kind of like story that if I'm going to lay out that kind of money, I'm not, and I realize that I'm on a budget. I'm a little bit, I don't spend very much. Everybody knows I have a fairly modest collection, which is where I'm at. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But so maybe that's why it's irrational to me, but like even chasing a book, because part of it is I feel like it comes back to the fear of missing out. People are chasing these 2 books.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, these are the next big things. Well, the thing is, they're already big. They're probably not going to get bigger at this point.
It's probably going to be down after this.
Yeah, if anything, they're going to. Well, you talked about Naomi. You saw the one for $900. Like I said, currently, Go Collect had the fair market value at $450.
Yeah.
The last 3 sales have been $350 to $400 to $375. Like have been the bottom side of that. There was a bunch of sales before that were $500, $550, $600, and then if you go far enough back, you got into that $900 one.
Yeah.
That were on the Go Collect. So there is that book is already coming back. There's already some reality check going into it.
Yep.
That I think with these books, I think patience is an absolute virtue with these.
Yeah.
We've kind of went down this long trail with these 2 books in general about Spec, and I think at this point I'm ready to maybe we can circle back to just Spec in general and talking about some other stuff.
Well,
but I just felt it was important to like get this out to people and make people like think about it a little bit.
Yeah. Baked and Snake was saying that for his PC he agrees, but if he gets a deal on a random first appearance, he'll snag it. I have recently started doing the whole CGC flipping books. I had all those Naomis that I found.
Right.
I sold 2 of them for $75 each. But I was kicking myself because they were in 9.8 condition.
Right.
And I was like, if I had to send them to CGC and they came back 9.8 I found them cover price. So after the $30 it cost me, I could make $450.
Right.
You know?
From Bake's perspective, what the point I think he's trying to make is that if he finds, a good deal, and that's the thing is finding the good deal. You found those for cover.
Yep.
Or, if you find them and they're going for significantly more than that, you're making a decision after the fact. You got a deal and you're able to flip them to get bigger, you're going to be able to flip those to get books that you really, really want.
Yep.
And I think that's smart Spec. That's using, that's flipping, using it to your advantage, being smart about it. You actually saw the book was, and there's nothing wrong with, I know a lot of people that'll buy a copy of first appearances just to see, but I don't think you want to go all in on those. But the thing is, someone is paying that $400 for that book you paid cover for. That's 4 months old.
Yep.
And that's the person that is like, I mean, sure, take advantage of them. Like it's helping your collection and that kind of stuff. But there's members of our community that are making that in my opinion, it's a mistake if you're the one paying the $400. If you're the one paying for the 9.8 slab, that's where you're making a mistake.
Yeah.
And those are the people that I'd like to see think a little bit more about what they're doing. I realize that maybe presents less opportunities for the rest of us to like have those big turns and like that you can turn into big books. But it's just like I hate to see people chase a 4-month-old book for that guy that paid $900.
Yeah.
I mean, what was he thinking?
He's out $500 already, maybe even $600 because the last sale was $350. You just said.
Yeah, and
that hurts.
Yeah, that just hurts.
Hey man, people are loving your Batman books. They want to see that Scarecrow, man.
Oh, okay. So those of you who didn't join me earlier this evening, I did a live stream. You'll have to go back and check it out. I was one of the 3 winners of Mr. Miracle's Batman 80th anniversary contest, and I got the lot of Silver Age Batman books. So I snagged all 3 of these. I'm gonna grab these and then 2 others from him. Where did I put those other 2? They are laying. I was like,
some epic books, dude.
Yeah, so I will do a real recap of that from earlier. 4 12-cent Batmans. Batman 169. Second Silver Age Penguin.
I love that purple cover, man.
Oh man, and the colors on it, like these are low grade books. Dave said that when he was giving them away. The spines are a little beat, but there's not a lot of creasing, and the color is just spectacular on all of these.
I'm the same way, Tacoma, exactly the same way.
Yeah, and then this was kind of a random. That was not like a key of any kind. It was just a random add-in, he said, which I was like, sweet. A 15-cent Detective Comics is a bonus book.
I'll take it.
Yeah, and another just gorgeous purple cover.
Yes.
And that's Detective 397.
Awesome.
And then second, Silver Age Riddler. Batman, what is this? 179. And another, look at the green and purple on the Riddler. Look at Robin's cape. Just Batman's belt. There's yellows.
Man, that's clean.
Yeah, just super nice colors. Then Batman 155. And this is maybe the most beat of the copies, but it's not bad. It's the first Silver Age Penguin.
I love that cover, man.
And again, look at those. I mean, look at Robin's cape and the fire and the color is so good on that thing. And then last but not least, 189, first Silver Age Scarecrow. Yeah,
man, that's awesome. I'm so jelly.
So, and if you guys didn't know, before this, I did not own a Silver Age book. Like, not one. Like, I never. Like,
dude, that makes me happy for you, man.
But these are my first Silver Age books. This is amazing.
Way to go, Mr. Miracle, right?
Yeah, way to go, Dave. Thank you so much. I've said thank you like 1,000 times. It's not enough. So those are probably gonna be in my background for a while. So,
dude, flaunt them, bro. That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, those are. I might trade out the Riddler for the other Penguin just because of that purple cover.
So I'm gonna ask you and the chat a question that you guys may help me think through, man, with having to do with Spec. So last year, I picked up GSX 1, Giant Size X-Men 1, 9.2 white pages. It's a gorgeous copy, and it would actually be like a 9.6, but somebody wrote with silver a marker on the front cover. So it's just like a little loop, but it's in the greater notes is what knocks it down. Like, it is like so pristine and beautiful, right? So anyway, 9.2s white pages are selling on eBay for about $55. Okay, so whereas a couple months ago they were selling at $2,000. Now they're at $5,000, $5,500. Just depending on the color of the pages. So I don't know. I think that Spec is really driving that book, and it could be one where I make a mistake and sell it, and it never comes back down because, of course, it's the X-Men that I grew up with and loved, And so, but then part of me is like, maybe it's just hot right now, and that book will fall again. So I'm trying to decide if I should sell it and then get like a Brave and the Bold 28 or Avengers 1, because that's right around the prices I want,
Yeah.
But then it's the X-Men GSX 1 too. It's like, I don't know what to do, man, because I mean, I paid a little under $2,000 for it, and to sell it for $55, like, that's a huge profit.
I mean, that's a tough one for me because
right?
I don't think the book's going to stay as hot as it is right now.
Yeah.
Because I think there's enough of them out there that in pretty good grades that I don't think the market is going to continue to just like climb the way it's climbing. But I also don't necessarily, because it's such a big book. I mean, first Storm, first Colossus. I mean that.
Yeah. Wolverine's second appearance.
Third Wolverine. I forget if it's technically the second or the third Wolverine, but that is such an iconic book.
Yeah.
I don't know that I see it dropping back like a lot. That's just my opinion. I'm curious what other people say.
Highly is saying that book is not coming down.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at. I don't know that it's gonna like continue to climb at the rate it's going to, but I don't think it's coming back.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried. I don't want to get rid of it and then not be able to afford it again. You know. Let me pull it out.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it comes down to, for me on that one, is would you be like, and this is a personal decision for you,
right?
Is you're talking about selling it so you can get an Avengers 1 or I forget now the other book you said.
Yeah.
Which book do you want more?
See, that's the problem, dude. I want every book in the world. So I mean, look how white this cover is, man. Look how clean the edges are. Like, it is absolutely a stunner, man. And there you go. So yeah, Biggie Shaq's like, bust that bad boy out, man.
Yeah.
So but can you see like I'm trying to get no glare, but there's like a 20 right here.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
You see it?
Yeah.
I mean, other than that, man, I mean, even the back is it's just clean, man.
What a gorgeous book, man.
Yeah. And I mean, and the X-Men, if I had to choose, if someone pulled my arm, put a gun to my head, I think the X-Men are going to be my favorite group.
Oh, in that case, then no. I mean, Big Will made a point in here. As long as your spread is large enough, you can afford to wait and see.
Yeah, that's true.
And you know, but to me, if the X-Men are your group and that's your team, which it strikes me as that's like X-Men 1, the original X-Men team is not your team. That's your team.
Yeah.
And I don't see, if that's me, I don't see myself, and as beautiful a copy that is,
yeah,
I don't think I'd move that book. Unless
this
back you.
Too.
Oh, see, you got the 4.0 though. Nice.
Yeah. I love the X-Men, man, and I'm grateful everyone's like speaking up and saying stuff, because it's helping me to kind of think through what I want to do. Because earlier today, I was gonna post it for sale, and then I just like got sick to my stomach. I'm like, no, I can't do it, you know?
Yeah. The general consensus seems to be in the chat is it ain't coming back. Like, somebody, what it was, Comic Noob said the MCU would have to mess up pretty bad for that book to go down.
That's true. That's true.
Let's see.
I try, Biggie. I try, man.
Bake the Snake 90s cartoon numbers and extras. Definitely keep it. J Hood asked, could a pro resto removal guy be able to get that marker off?
See, I was asking the same question, and I don't know because I've never done that, man.
Yeah.
But if they could somehow, that book's a 9.6, man.
Yeah, you might have to ask around a little bit, because
TJ might know. He just dropped in the chat.
There you go. Hey TJ, what's going on, man? We're kind of wrapping up here at the end, but so ask him your question. See what TJ thinks.
So TJ, check it out, man. Since you know a lot about these older books and CGC, I've got this 9.2 GSX, and it's got this marker right here. I don't know if you can see it, but
yeah,
it's a 20.
Yeah, TJ says marker is forever.
Okay. Done.
Dang it.
I do some kind of voodoo, right?
So TJ asked, and the thing is, he just got here, but he doesn't understand the big deal with Naomi. And that's really what most of the stream was about. TJ was like, I went through and listed other female characters that have been around, some fairly new, some been around a long time, that she is in pace with or outpacing in terms of price for a 9.8 right now, and even price for a raw book. I mean, and it's kind of a crazy list that she. And I also compared her. I threw one male character in, which was Miles Morales, and she's her 9.8 is going for $125 more than a 9.8 of Ultimate Fallout 4 for Miles Morales. And so, yeah, and it's 4 issues into her existence. She's been in 4 comic books, and 9.8s are going for $450. So that was really like trying to understand what people are doing, what they're chasing, is really what we've been kind of talking about. Let's see who else is in here. Jay Hood, Brett has art. Learn from my mistakes. What did Brett say? Not ever coming down. He's talking about that. I'm not sure what he's referencing when he says he's learned from my mistakes. We all need to learn from our mistakes, and and that's hopefully what some of what I know you do your. So you got a pitch? You guys doing another show real soon? Learning from mistakes.
We need to, man. Yeah. Okay. So you guys. I don't know how many of you've watched my amateur hour. I know you have.
Yeah.
Did you hear about my 10.0 Star Wars book?
Yes, the first one. Yeah.
I sent it to CGC. You want to see what grade it came at?
Yes, I want to see. Or wait,
it's the only time on camera I have like cussed, man. I was so angry at the guy. I wanted to go to the shop and beat him up right then. Okay, ready? Here comes the 10.0 you promised me. Oh, that's how stinking gullible I was. A 6.5. It hurts, man. I like wanted to break stuff when I opened that CGC box. Maybe he's lying a little bit.
Like when you said that, I was thinking 8.5.
Right?
Thinking like
a 6.5, man. That's a 10 for sure.
Oh
my gosh. I had to share that with you, man. A little sneak peek of my video there.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
It hurt. It hurt.
The Slab Dragon has spoken on your 9.2. He says, "Don't you dare sell that X-Men," and he's cursing at you. So,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you better like.
Oh man. So learn from our mistakes, right?
Yeah. So.
Oh my goodness, man. Thinking about this whole show, thank you everyone for saying stuff. Thank you so much. But like Naomi, crazy. If you can find it at cover price, pick it up and flip it. CGC a couple of them. If you can find Dr. Fry at cover price, do it.
Yeah,
but don't be buying it for $80.
No, don't do it. They're not going to sustain. Yeah, TJ, that was the other book we talked about was Immortal Hulk #2, the first appearance of Dr. Fry, and I compared him to The Batman Who Laughs, Carnage, and Bane, and he is Bane.
That's nuts, man. It just blows my mind.
It makes no sense to me whatsoever. So
something with the world today. God knows what it is. Oh my goodness, man.
Yeah, he said. TJ says unless you're going after the upgrade on that 9.2, you got to keep it. So.
Later, J Hood, creative. Take care. Thanks for stopping in.
Yep. Thanks, guys. I think we're gonna call it here. Unless you got anything else you want to talk about real quick.
I just like hanging out with you, brother. So
yeah, me too.
It's your show, man. You tell me to go, I'll go. You want to stay, I'll stay, man.
Well, I gotta go to work at some point tomorrow, so we'll wrap it up here pretty quick. But you got anything? You got your unboxing? You got any other videos or anything you got coming out?
Yeah, so I recorded my unboxing video. I want to give a shout out to Hector, the only one. I just got these today, and these are some beautiful prints.
Those are awesome. I was wondering what the story was behind those. I hadn't asked you yet.
I just picked them up today, and I love the artwork. It blew me away, this whole Kirby homage. So, but yeah, I've got my CGC unboxing. I'm going to edit it, put it together. It should be coming out later this week, probably Wednesday. And man, I can't tell you how I was literally shaking and like sitting here opening them up one at a time, like wanting to throw up, such a fun feeling. And I'm glad it's over. And then when that 6.5 came out, I wanted to like destroy the world, man. So
I could have, oh man, that is like I said, I was thinking, oh, it's bad. It's gonna be like an 8 or an 8.5.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking 6.5.
That's how shady that dude is, dude. But on Thursday, we're probably going to have our episode 5 of Amateur Hour. And this week, we're going to be talking about something really similar to what we did tonight. We're going to go with variants and the different covers and the mistakes we've made in grabbing those. So that's it for me this week.
Okay. So my contest ends Friday. So if you want to win that lot of Immortal Hulk books, no number 2, a couple of number 1s, including a signed one signed by Ashley Witter, which I laid these over here a while ago. There's a number 5, a number 1 regular cover, and then this number 1 variant signed by Ashley Witter at PlanetCon. So that's one of the prizes for my contest. The other one is this sketch cover by Kevin McCoy of Black Cat. So that contest ends Friday night at midnight, and I'm not sure when I'm going to do the giveaway video on the weekend. Just depends on when I have time.
What do we have to do again?
Go to my 220 subscriber contest video, which was like on April 22nd or 20th, something right in there is when I posted that. And you just need to leave a comment that says 2 stories that like you want to share with the community that are stories you love, and they could be a single issue, a story arc, a run, whatever, however you want to define a story.
Okay.
Just trying to share some stories that maybe people haven't read that give somebody else something to read. I'm going to do a video on it after I get everybody's list pulled together.
Sweet, man.
So that's what you got to do. If you make a video, you get 3 entries. If you just leave a comment, you get 1.
Cool.
So that's the contest. That ends Friday. And then the only other thing I have scheduled right now for sure is next Monday. We won't be doing a Collecting Smart because that's the Monday where I do Gotham City Chronicles with Kavi, Comic Books NYC. We'll be on his channel next Monday. We're going to be talking about Hush.
Yeah.
And John's Comic with Kids is going to join us for that.
Dude, that's one of my top 3 favorite Batman stories, man. So I'm excited to watch that.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites. This is, in my opinion, peak Jim Lee right here. And so we're doing that next Monday. So, yeah. And you'll have to let us know if there's another story you might want to be a part of. We're always looking for, Kavi and I are always looking for at least 1 guest for doing these. So, not sure what we're going to do yet after Hush. But,
okay.
And that, yeah, I think that's it for my channel. If you guys went live earlier, you'll notice the Silver Age Batman books behind me. Those were my pickups from Mr. Miracle. So the whole video of that unboxing from his contest was earlier this evening. So if you want to check that out. I see D-Runk has dropped in. So D-Runk, we're just getting ready to get off here. Wolf Warner. So yeah. I think that's all I got, man. So I think we're going to call this. Thanks everybody for joining us. The chat was crazy tonight. I really appreciate it. You guys had lots to say. Hopefully we gave you something to think about, and hopefully everybody makes a little bit smarter decisions. Yeah. I know I always used to make smarter decisions. So. Yeah, all right. Thanks everybody. Bye.
Good night, guys.